And yes, we are live. Thank you everyone for joining us. Sorry we had a bit of technical glitches. I'm so sorry about that. Technical things do happen, but glad we have our guests here and you're all seated here and we are so happy to have you on here live with us. Now what I want you to do, I need you to go invite a friend. Send this link to your friends. Get everyone to join us. Join, join, join. Click on the link. Get someone to join us. Get your friends to join. We are live. We are live. We are live. And I'm live today with these beautiful women. Yes, glowing queens. So, have you invited your friends yet? I need you to click on the link and share it to your family, friends. Yes, it's time today. We're going to be learning about securing our future. Yes, securing. Yes. So, invite your friends, invite someone, and let's sit tight and listen. Listen from these women. Let's be able to learn something today. Today. So are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, so today we have a beautiful queen. Her name is Queen Cordelia Oputteh. She's a financial educator with a passion for helping individuals and families build a more secure financial future through education. She believes that knowledge is the foundation of financial success. And her philosophy is very simple. When people are equipped with the right information, they are empowered to make informed decisions, overcome financial barriers, and create lasting security for themselves and their loved ones. Her mission is to educate people, empower, and inspire them to take confident steps towards achieving their financial goals. So, who has is any one of you ready to actually achieve your financial goal this year? For me, that's one of my things I really want to do ensure this year. And I've really been working a lot more on my financial knowledge. And today we're going to be hearing from Queen Cordelia. Queen Cordelia, say hello to us. Nice to meet you.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here. Thank you, Queen Eunice. It's a privilege to be sharing your platform with you. I'm very grateful. And also, I want to thank my Executive Vice President for doing this with me. I couldn't be here without your support, your love, and your backing. Thank you, Ma. I appreciate you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And today, here again with us, we have Onyinye Okocha. Onyinye Okocha is a financial educator. She's a business consultant and executive vice president to the financial company. She's dedicated to helping individuals and families build sustainable long-term wealth. She has an MBA from University of Worcester, a level 7 diploma in business leadership and management, and a background in law. She brings a well-grounded strategic aspect to financial education, business development, and leadership. With years of experience in guiding clients through financial planning, investment strategies, and wealth protection, Onya is passionate with simplifying complex financial concepts and equipping people with the tools to take control of their financial future. Her work extends beyond personal finance into mentorship and leadership development. She trains and empowers a growing network of entrepreneurs and professionals. She's the founder of Infinite Abundance Careers, Onina leads a purpose-driven community focused on financial independence, personal growth, legacy building, and she's known for her clarity, conviction, and practical insight. She's committed to inspiring action and helping others to turn vision into measurable results. She widowed in 2012. She got to a plane crash, bless her. Onyinye is committed to inspiring and practically helping widows grow economically. Come on, let's give a round of applause to Onyinye. This woman is a powerhouse. Through all her struggles and through all she's been through, I can see her glowing, glowing. And here is that woman that today we're going to be talking lots more about women becoming, knowing about finance and being able to secure their future. And I think just with reading that line that she widowed in 2012 due to a plane crash, I can actually see something, a glimpse of why she's so passionate about why women should be very informed and very, very in that space of finance and securing their finances. Today, as women, a lot of us actually, we just leave a lot of things to men. But now I want to ask you a question. Onyinye is just like every woman out there. This could be anyone. Something can happen to our husband. Something could happen to someone's husband tomorrow. But have you ever sat down to actually think, to ever ponder, what if that man is not here today? What is going to happen to me? What is going to happen to you? What is going to happen to that sister, and her children? What would be their fate? I need you to take a few seconds and ponder on this before we actually move into discussing, because we really do not think about it. A lot of times we just bring the bills to the man. A lot of times we just leave the man to do this. Sort it out, take care of it. We don't even want to be interested. There's a lot that we women, we shy away from. We work really hard, but we don't pay due diligence to some certain things that matter. And one of those things is finances. And so here today, I'm going to be leaving these women to talk because I personally am in this space to learn as well. Now, the Glow Launch is for every woman. On this space, we talk about everything that concerns women. I am Coach A. I'm a health and wellness coach, an advocate for women. On the space of Glow Lounge, we talk about different aspects of life that concerns women because we know that the health of a woman it comprises of a lot of things. So today, let's talk about your finance. So where should I start? I'm going to start from Queen Onyinye. So Queen Onyinye, tell us. Now, before you tell us a little bit, how was it for you, that shift,
Hmm.
when you were widowed?
Okay. Good evening, Queen E. I'm really delighted and I am very happy to share this platform with you. I don't take it for granted at all. Thank you so much. Thank you to my amazing Queen Cordelia for bringing me on here because you opened this platform to me. Okay, now to your question. How was I? Well, I'm sure you're looking at me and looking, she looks really young. So how could she have been widowed at the 2012? Like really 14 years ago? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's 14 years ago. I was 26. Yeah. My baby was 15 months. And like a lot of us here, I really married early. Yeah, I got married 23. My life was all from I finished secondary school to university to law school to everything. So it was very fast paced. And of course, got married to the love of my life. And everything was going pretty much good. And like a lot of women here, just like you said, I was comfortable where I was. He handled everything, right? He handled most of it. Why should I bother my head when I had a responsible man who was taking care of me? And he also was well older than me. There was almost 10 years between us. So I didn't need to bother my head. But that crash happened. And very suddenly, I must say, because 1 minute I was speaking with him on the phone. Oh, babes, I'm coming to you guys soon. And the next minute, right? And suddenly there's a plane crash and the shock, all of it. Now, having to relearn everything was pretty tough initially. However, the truth is, innate in all of us is the capacity to handle situations, to be
Mm.
honest. Now, before I got married, right, as a teenager, I began to do business pretty early. In my secondary school, in fact, it was funny, right? I was one of those people in JS2, JS3. I began to like take, I used to do, because I was pretty good with cooking, I would make stick meat and take it to school and sell it. And even though my school was not a school, you should be selling such things, because I attended Queen's College. I did all of that. In university, I began to do business, makeup, and all that. But there's something that happens to us women. Once you're married to a good man, you just chill. That's what happened to me. So after the crash happened, reality dawned on me. And because I had had several years of intense coaching from people like Fela Durotse, I knew for certain that you cannot afford to drop the ball. Also, it so happened that in my year three in Unilag, for the first time, a course called Gender and the Law was introduced. So we extensively dealt about what happens to widows when a man dies. So I
Mm.
knew immediately that a lot is going to happen. So first things first, my brain began to think, oh yeah, what do you need to do? Okay, first things first, get across. Is there any document? Is there anything that has to do with finances you really need to know? Yes, it was almost like trying to do it fire brigade approach, but that was what happened to me because even though I knew for certain that I married into a pretty good family, but there's something that always happens when a person dies. And trust me, at least for most people, right? The grief and everything that happens just makes it kind of twitches people's brain a bit. And before you know it, they begin to look for who to hold responsible. Things just go gangster, and the widow is the one who is held responsible for most things, and that's exactly how it happened. So from a state where we were all very chummy, doing things together, working things together, to when I became the villain in the space of 2 months, realities dawn on me. Like, okay, girl, you need to know this for yourself. And I just had to go back in there because there were two things I told myself, right? Um, I'm a believer, so I'm not afraid to say that. I remember the scripture that do not let anybody despise you because of your youth. Then, secondly, I also remember the fact that I had made up my mind from time immemorial that I was going to be successful. I do not believe in begging anybody for anything. You need to have your mouth. I'm one of those that my mouth is big. So, because of that, I began to work it. Was it easy? Come on, no. Did I make mistakes? Plenty. But I'm here now today, and my first thing I'll tell everyone is every woman, you cannot afford not to know. I'm not saying anything's gonna happen to your husband. You will get to grow old together. You will do so many things together. But guess what? Even if the man is there, there's something we have a natural intuition that enables us to have insight into certain things. So imagine you really understanding finances, knowing the numbers, knowing what to do, marrying that with the natural intuition that God has given us. Come on, that's why they say two would chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000, yeah? So that is why it is so fundamental. We cannot go away from this. That is your leverage. That is your power. That is your enablement. That is your capacity to remove yourself from situations you don't like. So, amazing queens, we just need to know about finances. It's very critical. So, thank you very much.
I just have to just breathe. Like I just have to breathe.
Mm,
20, you were in your 20s and you've been widowed for 10 years.
mm,
Sometimes we just see people and we don't know what they've actually gone through. We
mm,
don't. But you know what I learned from your story? You started equipping yourself. You talked about attending Sarah Deluxe 02 years program, attending programs and all that. And those things gave you knowledge. In this modern day and time, it's very important for every woman to be knowledgeable. And another thing I also gained from what you said, those people you think are your sweet, they are cool with you, they are your bread and butter, they are anything. When something happens, that could be a time for everyone to start looking and say, okay, what's wrong? It's just natural with every human being. So don't feel like, oh, you have bread and butter, your husband can provide everything, you can do everything, and you just chill. And then all of a sudden something happens. May we not wait for that time. So that is why I'm glad we're having this today. So we are going to be learning. So where do we start from? In Cordelia, I want you to talk to us. You are a
Okay.
woman, a beautiful woman, a queen. And I know you are not just one of those that just want to just sit down there and just say, oh, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to just sit and live the baby girl life. Where do we start from as a woman? Especially maybe a woman that she just feels, do I have to do anything? Do I even have to know anything? Where can we start?
Thank you very much, Kochi.
Or
That's
where
a
did
very
you start? Sorry, let me personalize it to you. Where did you start? Yeah.
that's a very
Yeah.
good question. That's a very good question. You see, there's one thing in life that I've come to realize. There's a hunger for more. Because trust me, there's really nothing that you can say that will get you ready for whatever circumstances come your way. There's always an extra to make. You see that drive, you want more. Because the way we are going in the society now, it's never enough. Even a household where there are two partners, it's not enough than a household where there's one person. So, what's that extra income you can actually make to keep it going? What's that knowledge? There are certain things that are there that we really do not know about. First of all, let me start with, do we even know what legacy is, what protection is? If something happens to you today, what are you going to do? Do you have that plan in place? Are your loved ones secure? Yes, God forbid. That's what we all see. Nothing will happen to me. I'm going to live till 1,000 years or whatever. But face reality, come down to the earth. I've been privileged to know a lot of young people these days just dropping dead without nothing. You get calls from left, right, and center in their 30s, in their 40s. What's actually going on? Then you see people setting up GoFundMe accounts trying to raise money. Why? Because that home was not prepared. How well do you know how to prepare for the inevitable? Trust me, it will come any which way. Won't you rather be somewhere and have peace of mind and know that, oh, yes, I am not there right now, but I know that my family, they are okay. What about if something happens to that spouse? Let's say those of us that are married or are still privileged to have our spouses with us. If something happens, can you keep going? What's the contingency you've put in place? Not just that. For example, you have an injury, you can't walk. The bills do not understand that you have an injury or there's something wrong with you. You have to keep going. How are you going to do that? Like my EVP said earlier, I'm just like that. I can't beg. It's not pride, but I rather find a way out to get it done. Because trust me, you see that no, it's heartbreaking. It cracks my heart. If I summon the courage to ask you for something and you tell me no, that's me recoiling back into my shell. So for me to do that, I rather find a way to do it. And trust me, there's a way. In our layman English, if you not know, you not know. Follow who know road so that you can know. There is a way. Get yourself protected, get your income protected. You see that debt that you are dwelling in, there is a way to manage it. And how would you know these things if you do not have the right knowledge? So, this is us today telling you, empower yourself. What would that extra income do for you at this point where you are in life? Have you put your home in order? If something happens to you today, are you sure that your home will be okay, or you're going to be among those multitudes that GoFundMe account will be set up for? People will go to Instagram and be collecting 1K, 2K on your behalf. We can arrange ourselves, especially women. I've come to realize that we tend to take the back stage when it comes to things like this. Oh, my husband will do it. Because I've been opportune to speak to some women. Do you have this? Oh, I don't know. I think my husband does. What about you? I was once like that, don't get me wrong. But I was saved by my EVP because she showed me, yes, I know your husband is there. But what do you think helping your husband? Because it's help. If I'm not here, how is he going to cope with my children? That's something I have to think about. He too has to think about us. If he's not here, how are we going to cope as a family? So this is me. Reach out. Knowledge is power. That's the only thing that can empower you. There are ways to go about these things. Thank you very much, Kochi.
Thank you, Queen Cody. Now, our time is running really fast. We're going to be moving. Queen Onyinye, I need you to tell us, what three steps do you think women can take? Where do women start from? But I love to personalize it because I really want to hear your story. Tell us three steps to move from that lady that doesn't know anything at all. Apart from that, okay, you got some knowledge and you tried. What did you actually do? What did you do?
Okay, all
Yes.
right. So we're going all personal, yeah? Okay.
Mm.
First things first.
Yeah.
Knowledge, I'll say it again. It all started with knowledge, right?
Mm,
Now, immediately I became widowed, it was apparent that things have changed, right? Everybody coming, paying condolence, yada 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 yada. But there was something that was there was something in my head because, like I said, in all of this, I see God's hand in everything because He equipped me with strategic knowledge before, in between,
mm,
after, and He
mm,
keeps doing the same. Now, I say, what are the odds that suddenly a whole University of Lagos suddenly introduced a course in my year three? I was the first batch of people that did gender and the law, which extensively broke down widowhood practices, widowhood rights,
mm,
what are the things that go and what are the mitigants in place. I was really
mm,
excited about that. And so immediately it happened, right? Even though I knew I was married into a good family, my head kicked in. Oh, yeah, first things first, implement. What are the properties? First, go and secure yourself because that's number one. Knowledge first. What you don't know, you don't know. The difference between life, death, making wrong turns, being in a situation where there seems to be no remedy. First is knowledge. Ladies, seek knowledge. And it's not anyhow knowledge because now we need to put a caveat there. Because we live in a generation where everybody just puts sets ring lights and begin to say all sorts on social media. You need to get knowledge from the right place, from the right people. So first things first, with the knowledge I knew in place, I knew, okay, I had an actionable cause. It was time for me to sue. If you want me to be all personal, because obviously there were gist that that crash was negligence. So based off that, we put things in place. Now, my legal background also came into being. We began to do that. Now, beyond the whole suit, because knowing how Nigeria is, right, I knew for certain it was going to take a long time. And again, I knew I was not going to beg anybody. It's not like now I'm big. I was very tiny like this, but my mouth was bigger than me. My mouth was bigger than me. And like I said, I know for certain that I've seen it happen severally again and again because my dad was like he's like the head of the clan. So many people had come, so many widows. I know it is, to be honest, it's very disgusting for you to see how people need to beg. And I've also seen people being taken advantage of because of that, because I am an observer. So I just said next thing is to be empowered. See, once you have money, right, half of your problem is solved. Because my daughter was 15 months, I said she had to go to school, she had to be tended, she had to go through stuff. And I knew the plans that we already had, and I know what God had already told me. So the first things first was like, how do I start making money? And let me put it out here before you think I came from a privileged background. Nah, I wasn't privileged at all. In fact, to be honest, when my husband died, we were living in Fade. If you know Lagos, Fade. Fade. So it's not like I grew up in Yaba. So it's not like I'm from a privileged background. But I knew I had to do something. So jumped in straight. I also understood the fact that you see that sentiments that people have when something goes wrong is for a moment. Milk it as much as you can, then make sure you use it to transition into something that makes sense. So a lot of the monies that people gave me, I immediately started doing business. Well, albeit without knowledge, right? I began to buy and sell some stuff, shoes. I lost some money along the way. I made some, but I kept going. Then the next thing I knew, okay, getting knowledge was really key. I was privileged to be married to somebody who was a business development consultant. I knew I'd always done business. So I then decided to cash in on the goodwill that I had. Went to there was I don't want to mention, but Faith Foundation, obviously, to go really learn how to do business, because there's no way you can do it if you don't. And as I say, ladies, invest in yourself. Don't even think it. I paid my money, even though that I could have called favored, because and let's even put it in perspective. You see, the assignment he went for that he died, it was Faith Foundation that recommended him. So I should have said, "You people come and train me." But I said, no, I paid, counted my money. See, when you guys pay for something, it stops nonsense. You can get what you want. So I was not looking for handouts from anyone. I paid my money and I went to Faith Foundation. Number one, it gave me access to network. I learned quite a number of things. And there, I then got clarity as to what to start doing. Because one of those random days when I was driving, I had it clearly, right? Go to a catering school. From law, yes, I went to catering school. Then from the catering school, as I finished immediately, I began to bake. I decided, okay, well, food can be pretty tricky. I looked at the situation, my daughter, I didn't want to be going up, and I began to bake. And I can tell you, like, the way God took that small baking, right? And boom, me. is, I mean, because one thing is you can't just be there crying, because people were really amazed when they come in contact with me. And when they look and say, you widow, we say, like, it's not possible. With all your smiles, and okay, I really want to help you. Now, just doing the business wasn't enough. I had to learn how to be strategic, collaborations, and that's one of the things we need to do more. We men, you see this, let me just be my own. I don't trust another person. You are doing yourself. There is so much power in strategic collaborations. Then again, how was I had a good product. I was doing well, but nobody knew me, my mini place in Ilukpeju. Then I now collaborated with a bigger platform, Deal Day. That was the exposure I needed. One of the persons just put me there, and before you knew it, I just went from there and showing up with excellence. I will see when it comes to working, I can work. Oh. Even right now, Cordelia knows. Call me 2 a.m. I'm there to respond. I would do the work, and from there, I went to a stage where I was not just doing my own, but I began to even lecture in a vocational school. I became a one of the accredited master trainers for Empower. Yes, empowering people for the federal government scheme, that Empower scheme. So it went like that. So now let's bring it practical. I've said my own bit of the story. There's plenty of things in between, but we cannot finish if we start continuing my story. Now let's make it practical. First things first, my dear ladies, knowledge. And it's not ring light bearing knowledge. I can tell you for fact, if you're just getting your knowledge from YouTube and Instagram, you will miss your way very fast, very, very fast. Because the truth is, though they are random knowledge, right? Your own situation is pretty unique. So you need to have what is good. Even the Bible says that all things are good, but not everything is beneficial. So not everything might be for you. So you need to have the knowledge. Then you need knowledge, right? Without implementation is raised to power zero. It's like looking at the mirror, then forgetting who you are, right? Yeah. So you then have to implement. And to implement too, a lot of times you need help, right? So you need to have it broken down by those who know. Once you have a plan in place, then you have to have the discipline to implement. I think that is the most difficult part, because that implementation stage, things will test you. It will test you, right? And once you keep going, then in all of this, I would say again, Cordelia mentioned it so many times, and I don't used to use it to play because, like I said, I don't have time to go into my own personal story, right? Whilst you're in all of this, the first stage in securing your money, securing your future, guys, financial protection, insurance. Don't use it to play. Especially in this climb, where I say it's like the more you look, the less you see, right? It's very individualistic. Now, my question is, in the unlikely event that we all are very, it will not happen to me in Jesus' name, everything will always be well, but we know sometimes life can go south, right? Even the dreams, the hopes, all the things you intend to do, if one commercial happen, what will happen to the things you need to do, the people that rely on you, or the plans and projections you have? So that's why you just want to sort it out that, okay, you know what, I've shocked all the shockables. I've ensured that if anything goes wrong, I've put that in place. Sequel to that, you then begin to build the other things. So suffice to say, knowledge. Follow no who no road. It's not everybody that know road. In fact, the loudest of them all know they know road most times. Follow who no road. Then have a plan in place. Then you have to have the discipline to walk the plan and stay accountable, right? Because things might change, situations might change. Also, be open, be flexible and open to being malleable, because things will always change. It will change no matter how you have planned. There might just be contingencies, there might be things that come up. But when you have a heart of gratitude and knowing that irrespective of how things may turn, like I always say, heads I win, tails I multiply, everything must work together for my good. Once you have that in place, trust me, I actually think that in this generation, it's actually easier to get your finances in place. And when you're planning for now, do not forget about the future. That's the mistake a lot of people do. They think they have sorted out, and you need to put it put it around where is the community you are in. For instance, right now, myself, Cordelia, and I believe Kochi, I don't know if you're here, I believe you're in the United Kingdom here. This jurisdiction is pretty special. It's different from what we are used to. So do not make the mistake of making your judgment or taking your opinion based on how you grew up or what was obtaining there. No, do it yourself, because I've been privileged to sit with several people. I hear people say, oh, without the changing policy, I don't want to do mortgage. I don't want to do this. I'm like, really? Really? Get knowledge. It's not that. deep, right? Of course, there are certain conversations that go beyond here. But like I said, have a plan. Knowledge, have a plan. Know it for yourself. Know it for yourself. It is your right. Do not adjudicate your future, your knowledge to somebody else. Yeah? Once you know it for yourself, we would all be fine. Thank you. I'm muted.
Richard.
Thank you so, so much. Like, I feel like I should just come and sit with you the whole day and you just be telling me a lot. Like, there's just so much knowledge with you to share. There's a lot. There's really, really a lot. Like, as I'm listening, I'm just like, wow. And it's just opening my mind to like, okay, okay. And then you went from law to catering and then now finance. And
Mm,
wow. But in all of it, like you said, knowledge is key. You open up yourself. You are so young, but you've opened up yourself to a lot of knowledge. And yes, I'm very much familiar with the Faith Foundation. And I think a lot of us, no matter, irrespective of where you are, wherever you live in, whatever country, there are opportunities out there. Source for them. Source for them, and you will get it. So even if you're in Nigeria, even if you're in the UK, there are things that you could do to better yourself, to help yourself. Just take this knowledge and you will get this knowledge. Thank you so much. And you mentioned about insurance. I personally, sincerely, I didn't used to take insurance really seriously because, like Christians and have with our Nigerian mentality, we just feel like, why would you want to be thinking about the life insurance? And do you want to get sick or do you want to, because these are things that we don't learn, especially maybe because of how we take things so religious, especially from the country we are from, the majority of people listening here. We take things, or in Africa in general, we take things so religiously that we don't actually want to even think. We don't even mention it. But up until a few years ago, and then I had to take up all this insurance because I knew it was very, very important, especially being in the UK. You can't have a mortgage without having certain of all this insurance. It's very, very important. But I think it should not be until when you want to have a mortgage or when you want to do this or do that before you take on all this. It's important that you do it. So I'm going to go on a short break. And when we come back, I need you to tell us a bit more how we can actually secure our future, considering even taking insurances. Are these things we should think about? Should we think about health insurance? Should we think about life or whatever it is? Share a bit more to us. I personally, I want to learn. So we're going to go on a short break right now. And after this short break, we're going to talk more on that. Okay, let's have our break now.
Last month, I received an email from my son's school that really made me stop and think. This email encouraged parents to begin to pay attention to what their children are eating. They also stated that the UK government is changing the menus in school to ensure that schools begin to incorporate healthy and nutritious meals to children. Now, I began to ask myself, if the school and if the government is beginning to make these changes to how children are being fed, how much more you, the parents, what are you doing? How much effort are we putting in to ensure that our children are eating nourishing meals? Now, every child is gifted. God gave you that child as a gift. And God have left all children in our care for us to feed them and nourish them in the right way. That is why I'm inviting you to join me on a 3-day program on the 24th to 26th of July. We'll be talking about feeding the gifted child, because we do understand that yes, your child is gifted, and we will be teaching about how to feed your child to become that gifted child that God has created him or her to be. On this program, we have doctors, pediatricians, pharmacists, and people that are all together coming to ensure that children are developed and formed in the way that God wants us to actually raise them. Join me on the 24th to 26th of July. Do not miss this program because it's going to be life-changing. As a mom, have you ever asked yourself, when you give your child food on the plate, have you ever asked, is this food nourishing? What do you ask? Instead, you look at it. And even your child even asks you, Mom, is this food sweet? Have your child ever asked you, Mom, is this food nutritious? If your child has never asked you that, or if you don't even pay attention to those things as a mom, you should be in this program. Do not miss this program. Get your friends to sign up. Click on the link and join me as we go to feeding our children in the right way. Thank you. And yes, we are back again. And yes, we are having a program called Feeding the Gifted Child, because we do understand that every child is gifted. Now, the 45th Woman Tribe, the 45th Woman, we are a community that's interested about women, empowering women to embrace wellness as a lifestyle. And we do understand as women, a lot of times we are the one preparing the meals. A lot of times we are the one looking after the kitchen, but we don't pay attention to what we are actually feeding our children, especially right now. We feed our children lots of junk. Highly processed foods are all over the shelves, everywhere, all over the world. And as a food scientist, I would tell you, this is a fact. This will keep going on and on and on. GMO foods and lots of highly processed food. As food scientists, we do this because we want to ensure that there's lots of food available on the shelf. But the fact is, we are not really looking at our health as much as we do before. So, and that is why right now it's important that we as parents begin to take the bull by the horn. Take the bull by the horn and start feeding your children right. Do not wait for the shelves in the stores to feed your children. So that's why I'm inviting you to this program. Please register for this program. The link would be in the comment section of this. You can always catch a replay of this. You can also send us a DM on Instagram, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp as well at the Foodie Fit Woman on Instagram, on Facebook, Foodie Fit, or just send us a WhatsApp message. Invite someone. It's just for £10, and you're going to be getting a lot of knowledge. Thank you all. And yes, back to talking about securing our future. Illnesses is predominant, going up all there. And this is actually one reason why we need to secure our future a lot. We do not know what is going to happen to us tomorrow. With what we are consuming now, we don't know. So I need you, Queen Cordelia, tell us. I know you personally, you're very passionate about healthy living, and you're in the Trim and Glow tribe. You're one of our women. Yes, our queens. So tell us, where do we start? Or, like I mentioned, I am also here to learn. Tell us a bit more about how can we secure that future? What insurance, or do we, tell us, 101, let me just call it. Tell us a bit about what you do, or how you do it, or where do you start it, or ever. We can't hear you, you're muted.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, where do I actually start from? You know, like I said earlier, and from all the conversations that has been ongoing, I've been privileged to speak with some people, and when I ask them how protected oh yes, I'm protected. I have this, I have that. This particularly is going to go out with those of us here in the UK. Oh, I have insurance. I took it out when I got my mortgage. But do you know what that insurance entails? Do you know what it covers? Most times, when we have the privilege to review their insurance, we see that it's practically rubbish. It's just because the bank wants you to insure for their own selfish interest, just in case something happens, they are covered. What about you? So sometimes we need to be really careful on what we do. And the only way that can come up is what you know. I've been privileged to have a friend that recently got a back injury from work. And she's been home, not being able to do anything. Now she's forced to take up bank shifts because, like I said, the bills do not know if you're injured or there's anything wrong with you. It will still come. Now, the back is worse. And I asked her, I said, do you have protection in place in terms of income protection? Do you know if you had this, you would have been paid for this period that you are at home? And she was like, really? I said, there you go. Knowledge, like I said. Sometimes people say, oh, I'm protected. Do we know that we have different illness covers? We have the ones called the critical illness and we have the ones called the serious illness. For example, serious illness, you only get paid once for a particular illness that's happening as at that time, but knowledge. Meanwhile, there's a better one if you knew that you could have taken. I'm going to leave that area for my EVP to really address because, like I said, she's really knowledgeable. She's the one that opened up my mind, my eyes to this. There were a lot of things. I was once like every other person behind the camera right now. I didn't know. But when she showed me, like, oh my God, I actually had an insurance before I met her. But not knowing that my insurance had a cap, it would have just gotten to that cap and it would have gone, not knowing that there is a better one to take. There are ways to go about it. So if you do not have the knowledge, please seek the knowledge. Yes, you might say you have a cover. Do you know what that cover is for? Do you know that there's something called a decreasing cover? If you don't know, you don't know. So be careful. I applaud you. If you have protection already, go and check. If you do not know how to check, please reach out and we can help you. Thank you, Kochi.
Thank you so much, Queen Cordelia. Now to you, Queen Onyinye. What can we do?
Okay, first things first. I'm sure we're beginning to sound like a broken record, yeah? But first is knowledge, right? Because you don't know what you know. What you don't know, right? Now, everyone pretty much now kind of knows that they need insurance, yeah, because it's a conversation that is all over the place. But like Queen Cordelia has said, not all insurances are the same. Now, the terms of your cover is very critical. And there's a Latin maxim we used to use in law that says that I would use the English version, right? It says that every profession is a conspiracy against the laity, which means that, right, there are little tricks in every profession. And if you don't know, well, it's to your peril. Now, for every insurance cover, now, before I even break it down into the points of different types, let's just say that every insurance cover has terms, right? There's some terms that are okay, they are level term. Some are decreasing cover, like she said. Some are joint cover. Some are whole of life, full of existence. Now, it could get very clear. You're wondering, please, what she's talking about? What's all of this? Yep, that is why it's very important to sit one-on-one with those who would adequately understand your own need, because yet again, everyone's protection need is different. Now, when people come in contact with me, I ask them, okay, what is the essence? First things first is we always do an educational session where we pinpoint what are the loopholes, because whether you like it or not, let's start from the fact that in this climate, there are certain things that are, I choose to call them in Nigerian parlance, the one chance areas that you need to first be aware of about. Then when you know those one chance areas, you can then put mitigants in place to ameliorate the situation. Now, coming back to insurances, just because we don't have so much time, my time is fast spent, let's break it down, right? And like Cordelia said, you need to know we are very open. We are happy to have a personalized free session with you to help you break down stuff. Yep. First things first, I said there are 3 areas that we need to think about. First is, like most of us know, and which we choose not to think about because we say God is our insurance, right? Whether you like it or not, we would all take a trip with the angels one of these days. Yes, I like to say it like that. It's easier to say take a trip with the angels and say we will die, but we all will die, right? So in the unlikely events that when one passes on, the question is, your family that relies on the income that you bring, you know, even the things you're already working on, that mortgage you are paying, all the goals, the businesses, do you already have one? I choose to use Nigeria because I'm Nigerian. I'm very Nigerian in my ways. Do you have one Odogu money you have kept somewhere that will continue to service all these things so that nothing will, they don't know anything happens? They just say, oh, she was a good woman, but we are continuing. For the most of us, not exactly. Now, that is why life insurance is very critical. And like Coach Ia said, she got her own cover when she was doing the mortgage. But when people tell me they got their cover when they're doing mortgage, I always have I have a chuckle on my face because I'm very interested in seeing that cover because I've seen so many things. Because, like I said, what was the crux of that cover? Was it to actually secure the mortgage so that if anything happened, or they will collect their money, or is it covering you? So that's on one hand. Anyway, so for life insurances, you want to know in the event that one passes on, there is a legacy amount that would be paid to your dependents, right? Which is very key. Yet again, there are different types of cover when it comes to life insurance. So that's why we say you need to check it. If by means, if you already have a cover now, just go and try and skim through. If you see anything that resembles decrease in day, just know that you are using basket to fetch water. Let's leave it like that. Do you understand? And obviously, if you're using basket to fetch water, your water is spilled away, right? Then even for the other ones, right, I would ask, okay, now if you have a term of life cover, what is the extent of the term? I recently met somebody who was really upset that insurance is just she paid for how many years, and by the time she was 65, they said it's no more. I said, well, you took a term of life cover and you said that the extent of the term should be 65. So have you made up your mind that you will only live for 65 years within that time? Because the way insurances actually work, it's not like you're doing a contribution. It is that in exchange for an assured amount being paid, if something goes wrong, you are paying a monthly premium. So, like I said again, check that cover. Right. So we're done with the life insurance. And before you begin to say, because I know that no matter what we say, there's still some people on this call that say, God is my insurance. He has told me that I will be here for 100 years, 120 years. Absolutely, my darling. I'm also like that. I know I'll see. Me and God, we've cut covenant because the Bible says that affliction shall not rise the second time. So one person that have gone, I've gone. So we'll be here for long. But however, with everything we have to do, right? Will you be able to, aside all the other things, be able to say you are living 300,000, 400,000, 1 million pounds for your next of kin with all you have to do? For the most of us, not exactly. With an insurance cover, you've already guaranteed that legacy. So if you don't want to think about the debt part or anything, now think about the fact that you are already securing a legacy with shinkiri money. I've done the math severally with people because I like to prove. When you look at the premiums you are paying, pari passu the number of years, most times, even after, no matter the length of years, you're not going to pay up to 1/10 of the amount that will eventually be paid out. So trust me, that's even good, like mathematics, if you really do it. That's on one hand. Now, the second aspect that we really need to pay attention to is illnesses. Yet again, I will not be sick. It's not my portion. Yeah. But like we find right now, there are so many people who normal routine check and and something just comes up. And before you know it, the cost of illnesses are a lot. Even beyond the illness, there's an economic cost to illnesses because your productivity drops. There are certain things you can no longer do. You might need to employ other people to come and take care of you. You have children who should be tended by you that you might need to start outsourcing stuff. So there's a lot of money that might eventually go on. Apart from the fact that, let's talk about cost of healthcare. Yes, for those in the UK, we say we have the NHS, which is pretty much, and I'm grateful for that. But we also know that there are long waiting lists. So sometimes you might not get the help you need on time if you have to be put on a waiting list, but with a serious illness cover. Now, emphasis on serious illness because there are different kind of covers. I don't have the time to go into it. Most people know critical illness, which is fantastic, but yet again, it's also limited in its scope because the way it works is it's just make a lump sum payment once if something comes up. But if we're looking at the long term, because whether you like it or not, illnesses do not used to say it's only one I'll come and it's only one. You are destined to have only one. But if some people after they've had something before and depending on what people have, there are certain illnesses that once people have it, I always say that after that they become customer. It keeps going on. And with a critical illness cover, if they've done that one lump sum payment, that hey, big has happened because sequel to that, it means you are then financially exposed going forward. There's somebody here that say, I'll go and get another cover. Well, it depends. There are certain conditions you would have that you will not be able to get another illness cover because, like I said, they know you as customer, so you're bad market. They will not give you anymore. And even if they are to give you, they would then, you've had a condition before, so you are now higher risk. So your policy will be loaded and you will pay so much. So looking at it, we look at it that, okay, there should be something that could give us the advantage of, we are covered perpetually. We don't have to go through this. One cover can keep serving us continuously, and that's where the serious illness cover comes in. I know a lot of people may not have heard of serious illness cover, but that's a difference. So suffice to say, you need to be protected so that you have a legacy for loved ones. In the area of sickness, you already have a cover in place. Then, like um Cordelia also mentioned, the issue of income is very critical, especially in this our UK, where you are on your own, right? The bills don't stop. It's per second billing, all right? And your earnings is directly tied to your capacity to work. I always ask everyone that comes in contact with me, I say, okay, if for whatever reason you're unable to work due to accident or sickness, will your company continue to pay you? Well, different companies have sickness policy. Some, like I said, those in the civil service, those ones are the odogus, they are the champions. They have a longer sickness policy, 6 months of full pay, 6 months of half pay. But for the rest of the people in the private sector, there are some people that shinkpan, they will not pay them if you go ill, right? You're on your own. While for others, where I used to work, right, it was a GP out of our service. In the whole year, you had 28 days to be sick. So you have to plan your sickness to be 28 days. If you have anything beyond that, right? And I don't know how sickness is to plan or anything beyond that, you are on your own. What then happens? The bills don't stop. And that is a very vulnerable place to be in. But that's where serious illness in income protection comes in. Now, what is income? But like it says, it's protection for your income. It just means that in the unlikely event you're unable to work due to accident or sickness, you are no longer getting pay from your own company, but you have been signed off by a clinician, a doctor that says you really shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't be working now, you should be home resting. Then income protection kicks in. It could pay you up to 80% of what you should normally have earned as salary every month, tax free. Yeah, that is there. And to be honest, if we have this in place, a lot of all these people that that are unnecessarily stressing themselves. When I come in contact with Africans, have you ever been off sick? They say, I never, I must go because they have to pay me. My mom who will pay me. It's really not that deep. You don't have to push yourself. There was a time where it just seemed like we're hearing people were dropping dead with cardiac arrest and all of that. It came from the fact that their body was already telling them something, but they had to just keep pushing because the bills are not smiling. With income protection in place, you really know that if you're on the event you can't work, hey, my bills will be sorted and I'll still have some change at least to get that sorted. Yeah, there are other covers like, accidents and fractures, things that can cover, even if you are a business person, because I'm sure there might be some business people here and you are going into partnerships and it could be high risk and you're wondering if anything happens to the other person. Yes, there are covers you can do that covers your share of each person's share, so that even if a critical person in that business, something happens to the person, your business will not go bankrupt because the insurance would ensure that they pay you. Now, suffice to say, guys, see, I know it's foreign to us, but the concept of insurance is not that evil is going to happen. No, it is strategic risk management and transfer. Because if things go wrong, you will feel it. You and those that you love will feel it. But guess what? If you are covered by the insurance underwriters, it's just a scratch, it's a dent. They are able to take the risk from us. So that's what it's all about. So at this junction, I would have to end it here. Everyone needs to, because we need to triage your own situation. Like we said, we're happy to have personalized one-on-one sessions. Don't worry, it's free. Do like this. We're not going to charge you because you are in this community. You came from here, so that's fine. Yeah, so that's amazing.
Thank you so much. Our time is not enough to cover up a lot of things, a lot of things. So, like you mentioned, you want to know more about securing your finances? Please drop a DM. Come on the comment section. And you can find Queen Cordelia. You can reach out to her. And for those of us in the Trim and Glow tribe, if you're in the Trim and Glow tribe, I want to see you drop your emojis. Are you dropping your emojis at all? I'm not seeing them. Drop your emojis. And please reach out to Queen Cordelia. And because it is very key, like you mentioned, Onyinye, sincerely, we can't actually say, I don't know nothing is going to happen to me. I'm not going to die. Yes, I'm not going to die you. But like you said, angel will come visiting one someday. And that's the fact. Angel will come visiting someday. So are you getting yourself prepared before the angel comes? How much are you? Now I want you to just leave us with, what would you say any parting words to Queen Cordelia and Queen Onyinye? What would be your parting words to every woman that is watching, that is on this program today? What would be your parting words to her? Let's go Queen Onyinye and then Queen Cordelia. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful Queen. Your finances is your strategy. It is your leverage. It is your capacity to determine what happens in your life. So be on top of it. Secure yourself. See, and this is not even about whether you see, like, lots of women do say, my husband doesn't. Okay, do this for you. Do this for your children, right? Get the knowledge. Secure yourself. You have you have an ability to choose your own reality. I'm here today living my life because I am empowered, right? We know where we come from. And, even though the government agencies and all of that are doing things in place, I recently last week, I attended at the House of Lords where there's now even a UN convention on the protection of widows and all of that. It's come a long way, but it still needs to be adopted, by every government. So before you get the help from outside, you go take. So for yourself, seek knowledge, put things in place, start small, walk the step little by little. You would be fine. You would actually see that it's such a joy. And as you get that knowledge, ladies, remember we are our sister's keeper. That's another thing we need to think about. Hmm? Each one, every woman around you, help, empower, build up. I love and celebrate everyone here, and I'm so delighted to have had the honor of sharing with everyone today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Queen Cordelia, over to you.
Okay, in one word, knowledge. It has been overemphasized today. Do not sit back and wait for the inevitable to happen. Trust me, you'll be doing yourself a disservice. Take that step. Write out that plan. Review if you already have a policy, review it for that peace of mind because you never know. Have that thought at the back of your mind that, oh, yes, I'm doing the right thing. I just want to share a little bit of inside information. I'm privileged to have a family member that her spouse just went to play football and he never returned. She was in her 20s. But the good thing about that was that the spouse had prepared the home before he left. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. She was paid a huge certain amount of money by the insurance company. She paid off the mortgage. The house belongs to her. In fact, she paid the children's school fees up front. Now they are secured. I don't know where that young man had that knowledge to be able to do that. But for me, that was an eye-opening. Really? You can do it. We can all do it, especially as women. I'm privileged to be in the Trim and Glow tribe, and it's the best thing that has ever happened to me because Coach E, she's passionate about health, what you eat, what you put in your body. Before I met Coach E, I couldn't drink water. I couldn't drink water without putting anything in it. I have to flavor it. And she told me, Cordelia, train your taste bud. You can do it. This is me now drinking 3 liters of water without putting anything in it. And that's to tell you, anything you put your mind to do, you can do it. Excuses are cheap. Those who make them are not wise. So stand up, reach out to us, and do the right thing. If not for you, for your loved ones. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, my EVP.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm just going to leave you with these few parting words. Number one, take care of your health. Health is wealth. Things are happening. Your angel can come visiting anytime. Nobody knows. Nobody. But what can you do? Start now. Start with the little things. Drink water. Choose the right foods. Feed your children well. And that is why we're also calling you to sign up for our program in July. And then, talking about securing your finances. This is my advice to every woman out there. If you don't know, ask your husband, what financial policy do we have, or what insurance policies do we have in place? If you do not have one, please, please, this week, don't let it pass. Tonight, try and get this done. Get it done. Let it be one of your goals for this before this month ends, please. Then, if you already have one in place, because this happened to me as well, we had a finance policy in place, but then a friend reached out to me and she reviewed our finance policy, and we realized it had a cap, and she was able to help us to review it and give us for us to have a better one. So I would say review your insurance policy. There are so many things that are kept under the carpet you may not know. Get someone to review it to you. And if you want, Queen Cordelia is here, Queen Onyinye is here. I like to call her Queen Cordy. They are all here. Please reach out to them and get the insurance fixed, because you do not know when your angel will come knocking. When your angel comes knocking, I want to ask you, what would you be leaving for your family? Would your family be able to be sustained when you are not here? And for you, that woman that don't know and you don't care to know, please, it's time for you to know. One day, your husband's angel can come knocking as well. What would it be for you? Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. It's been such a pleasure having you. Thank you, Queen Cordy. Thank you, Onyinye. As in, seriously, I'm so happy. And your story is so significant. And sincerely speaking, it's been a blessing having you here today. I've been personally inspired. And I just want to say thank you to you both. Thank you for joining me here. Hopefully, everyone, the Glow Lounge is that space for you, for every woman. Join us next time. And on the 24th to 26th, please, because you know what? If you don't take care of your health, your angel will come knocking sooner than expected. So please, take care of your health and your children's health. So you can tell the angel, wait, it's not yet time. Thank you all. See you next time on our Glow Lounge. And yes, bye to everyone. Have a good day. Have a good night. Bye. Bye.